We are back with another Christian review of regular books and no spoiler review of All the Missing Pieces by Catherine Cowles. If you haven't been to one of these videos before, there is a video pinned at the top of the playlist, which is all about my Christian reviews of regular books. So you can go ahead and check that out for more detail. It should also be here somewhere, so you can click there too. However, here's the basic synopsis. You're gonna get a regular review, my own personal opinion of what I thought of the book with a star rating, and then I get into my Christian review, where I go over the basic pieces of a book that may or may not have a fellow believer or anyone wanting to read it. I also do give an age range at the end. Lastly, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell to stay up to date with everything we're doing here on this channel, which does have my Christian reviews of regular books, but also has me and my mom's podcast, and I don't want you to miss any of the episodes or any of the videos we put out, so make sure to hit all those things so you can stay up to date. But let's go ahead and get into my regular review. All the Missing Pieces by Catherine Cowles actually was a book club pick for me, so I don't know that I would have picked it up, except for I had some friends who were like, it's not too bad, it's not too spicy, I think you'll really like it, and it had a really pretty cover. I mean, look at the colors, you know what I mean? So I figured I'd check it out. This book actually is a combination of like a romance thriller. It has both storylines kind of intermixed in there, which I thought was really interesting. It's one of the first books, if not the first book that I've ever read like that has been kind of both simultaneously. And in some ways that was really cool and fun, but in some ways I think pieces get missed because of those two aspects intertwining. And then one part of the story becomes a little bit more important. In this book, I think the romance became a teeny tiny bit more important than the thriller aspect, but it was still fun. Truly. Now, I enjoyed this book immensely. I feel like it was really fun. However, I do think that the book started a bit slow, like getting us to the point of where we were at in the story took a while, and I felt like it took too long. And then I'm gonna say this other piece, which sounds almost contradictory. Then we get to the end and it felt like it just went too fast and it all came together too quickly and just ended abruptly. I understand it was going to be a little bit of a like happily ever after, like, okay, great, put the bow on it, move on. I feel like it was a little bit too simple to get ourselves there and to make those final pieces, especially considering how long it took us to get to that point. I still enjoyed myself immensely and I ended up rating it 3.5 stars. Now let's go ahead and get into my Christian review. The first category I always love to touch on is smut or spice, and there is a few spicy scenes throughout this book. It surprised me, honestly. They're not dark, but they are described. So if that's something that's not for you, you can skip past it. The second category is explicit language, and there is a little bit of explicit language. It's not extensive, but it's definitely there. So again, just something to keep in mind. The third category, because this is also a thriller, is if there's any violence or gore, and there actually really isn't. There's a few suspenseful scenes, but nothing explicitly described when you get to the violence or gore of things. They might be described after the fact about what happened, but not in the moment or to the point where you would really need to skip past or be concerned about it. Ultimately, I think this book is probably appropriate for ages 16, 17 and up. Again, I think the explicit scenes are the biggest thing for me. However, I do think it has some interesting dynamics that would be just kind of cool to discuss with your teen if you're willing to read it with them. As always, you can find everything that I'm reading and rating in real time by following me on Goodreads. I'm also on Instagram, on TikTok, and I actually have my own YouTube channel where I go over more of the day-to-day of what I'm reading. So go ahead and follow me in those places if you want that information. You can find everything you need to stay in contact with me, send me something, or any of the links that I just mentioned down in the description box below. But you can also email us at hello@trochia.org. We don't want to end the conversation here, so make sure to leave a comment or send us an email. And I cannot wait to see you on the next one.